name is Cypher Morrison, and this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
Welcome to This Week in Car Audio with your host, the Judge, Doug Stockton, internet sensation, movie star, video game mogul, Vegas trouncer, Mr. Jeffrey Fernandez.
Hey, that's a new one.
I know. Well, you were all over Vegas last week, so.
Just having a little fun.
Yes, you were playing blackjack in the pool and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. That was my first time.
And how did it turn out for you?
So, okay, we won some money, and then we were like, okay, let's go. And we had all these chips, and we're like, so, what are we going to do? We're just going to walk throughout the pool with chips in our hands. And, so I think that kind of led to like, let's just let it ride every hand. Oh. And then we ended up losing it all. But it was pretty fun. I think that's how they get you. They're like, so you're going to walk around with these chips in your hands or put them in your pockets while you're swimming. And they're like, no, they're just going to let them play. So that's kind of what happened. But it was fun. It was a good experience.
So how far north have you been, Jeffrey, in the United
what
States?
Do you mean?
Have you done any stereo competition? I know you did some stuff in Idaho.
Yeah.
Where else have you gone?
Man, that's probably the furthest north, probably Idaho, Utah area.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Man, I would like to go to Canada when Ray does his finals there.
Yep.
He hasn't given me an invite yet, so I'm just waiting.
All right. Right now in the chat, we got Jose Ramos, Tom Selleck, Melissa THF. Melissa, dude, she's got a car. I'm just saying, it's designed for the new class, freestyle.
Cyclone?
Freestyle.
Oh, freestyle.
Nice. Absolutely,
nice.
for freestyle. We got Mario Perella in the chat, Rosa Espinoza. So, team Space for Base Rosita. She's actually one of the sponsors. Team Space for Base is one of the sponsors for World Finals. So anyway, a couple weeks ago, we have the judges chat and all that, and Wyatt pops in and says, "Hey, I think we have a new world record." I said, "What class?" And he goes, "It looks like demo wall." I said, "Jose's not going to be happy about that." So our guest this week, Team DC Lucas, he is the current world record holder for demo wall cyclone. How's it going, Lucas?
It's going great. How are you doing?
Just fine. So, before we get into, let's start at the end and work our way around. So, right. So what was your record, and what did you dB, frequency, song, that kind of thing?
So I used a song called Subdestruction by Got Ghosted Music. Okay. Seems appropriate for the name. The dBs was a 58.4, which really surprised me. Uh-huh. So I'm running 8 DC level 6 18s on 4 Pitbull 20Ks. Okay. At 180 amp hours of CMAX, and they're all at 0.5 on the amps. So I had to start out low. Came out way low. Came out at 151.9. Uh-huh. And somehow managed to get it up there. It was just fun time. Yeah, it's Cyclone. Gotta have fun.
Yep. Jose's sitting here watching in the chat. He says he's happy the back and forth is way more fun. So I tend to agree with them. Yeah, I agree too.
Agreed.
I mean, if you're not pushed, you tend to get stale, right? So that's what typically happens in some of these classes. Some people, they get, whoa, that's I've never seen before. I don't know, I opened up something in my computer I've never seen. That's probably not
Oh.
good. No.
I just had something pop up at the same time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, as we get started here, once again, we like to thank our sponsors of today's event. Today's show is brought to us by Stolman Transport LLC and Lots of Watts. So if you guys want those, we only have a couple more days. If you guys purchase a hat, a shirt, a hoodie, whatever, he donates money to the West Coast Finale, which right now we have $1,135 added prize money to the event. With the entries, I expect to see probably close to $3,000 I'm giving away for the day. So should be really nice. We're going to be over 2,000 for sure. And like I said, it may exceed 3,000. So if you guys want to help, help us out, 10% of any transport booked through Stolman Transport LLC and mentioned the Sonic FX, This Week in Car Audio, T.W.I.C.A, any of that, you let them know that you heard about it from here. Same with the Lots of Watts. He'll donate more money to the prize fund. So, all right, guys. So with that, so what was your total score? 158.4. So that was your final score. And what did you say you come out at?
151.9.
151.9. So let that be a lesson for some of you guys, because Jose does something very similar. I'm just saying. I think he's trying to warm up his subwoofer so they don't blow up in the first 10 seconds.
Is that the secret?
Well, it did help me maintain voltage. So if I would have come out the gate at a mid 57, then I probably would have been around 14 volts due to my reserve. But because I came out lower, which I meant to come out a little higher, but I only dropped from 15.5 on the 180 C-Max down to about 14.9.
Okay.
So easing off the start so it doesn't dump that first initial reserve helped me maintain for the longer run.
Okay. So the equipment you used, Scar Audio and Teraamps?
No. You can get him in trouble.
I know.
He's trying. Now, I run a full DC build.
Okay.
Wire voice amps, voice speakers, level 6 18s, pitbull amps.
Okay, so 20,000 watt pitbull amp. For those who don't know what that is. How many of those pitbulls do you have?
I have 4 pitbulls at half ohm each.
Okay, so the thing I've heard about the pit bulls from their inception is if you get one that works really well, they are almost bulletproof. They work really well and real consistently. So you must have a good batch, or have you had to replace them? Because there were a handful of people that had to replace them.
No replacements, but some
good.
repairs.
Okay.
They had to work out some kinks with the build house.
Okay,
I had
they
earlier
did.
ones.
They did.
Yeah.
And that's real common when you're going to the high end of the amps, right? I mean, like the Crossfire 16K when it first came out, it wasn't what it is today. I mean, today it's a badass, nice, solid amp, right? It definitely wasn't that when it first came out. The Pitbull wasn't that when it first came out. And that's just when you're on the edge of technology, it's difficult to come up with something that works perfect right out of the gate,
Oh yeah.
So, and not saying that the ones that first came out didn't work great, but some of them didn't, and that was that's a build house issue that you guys have to all manufacturing has to work out. So, so you are running all DC 100%. You even have DC sound deadener.
I do.
I got it in my car too.
Nice. Have you met Rusty? Have you met Rusty before?
I have not yet.
He was on the
Justin
show
a couple times. Yeah, I watched.
Okay.
Okay.
I missed the live, but I watched.
You watched it
the
back.
recorded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where you are now, current world record holder. And what part of the country are you located in? So people, like, if you were going to do a show, what area do you do your shows in and that kind of thing?
I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Chicago. I try to get out to Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan. I'd like to hit more places. This year wasn't really allowing me to.
Okay.
Mhm. That's where I hear the accent. You got a little bit of a Wisconsin accent, right?
I I hope
It's,
not.
it sounds
I don't know.
pretty
To me, it
Chicago.
sounds like it.
No,
Oh, is
it's
it
definitely
Chicago?
Chicago.
Okay, Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up
Chicago.
south side Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
The Bears.
Is there a lot of shows out there in that area? A lot of DB drag?
No.
Hmm.
No, I got to drive at a minimum about an hour and 45 minutes to get to one.
Wow.
In California, that's nothing.
Well, you hit rush hour over here, and getting about 20 miles through the city is about 2.5 hours.
He's
Oh,
never
man,
heard of
that's
the
kinda long.
I-5 in L.A.
Oh, I've heard of it.
or 405
Yeah,
or the
405 will do it.
55 or up here the 101 or
Yeah.
the 520. Yeah. No,
I've
so
been all through LA.
oh, have you? Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about Vegas. I lived there for a year as an amateur skateboarder and went to LA
Okay.
on the weekend.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So for
Yeah, I was
me,
hanging out with a pro skater this past, a few days ago
Tony
when I was
Hawk?
up there. That was a buddy of mine, Chris
Peralta.
Mendez. He's out of Temecula area. So
Oh, nice.
Mendez. That's not. I thought that was a pro BMXer named Mendez.
I think there is one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah,
cool.
no. So I live 45 minutes or 45 miles from San Francisco, and it takes me 2 hours and 45 minutes to get there.
Jeez.
So, so traffic is what traffic is, especially in California. You know. But,
Cali's had the worst traffic I've seen.
yeah, LA's pretty horrible. That's for sure. So okay, so that's the area you're in, Midwest, North. So how did you get your start? Who inspired you? Where did this all come from? Well, let's start there.
So I never even went to an audio show until 4 or 5 years ago. I had a lot of, just like everybody, I'm 41, so late 90s. I had all kinds of mismatched systems, didn't know what I was doing, got away from audio. My younger cousin hit me up one day and he said, "Hey, you should put some bass in your ride."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I've been missing it for a while. And he brought me this DC level 3 and he's like, "I will hook you up super cheap on this." And it was all downhill from there. Put 112 in, and then next thing you know, it's 212s, 415s. I tried another 212s, 4-inch coils. Within 2 years, I had a wall.
No, that's not how it works.
I went from a single 12, and then I hit my first 160 2 years later on 4 5 BLV3s with cracked baskets and all kinds of issues on 10K and a flat wall.
Okay.
What kind of car?
2015 Scion TC, little hatchback.
Oh, okay.
Sam Dunn said he got to see your very first cyclone run ever.
Yeah,
That's
he
cool.
did.
Okay. So what was actually the first audio you ever put in a vehicle?
First audio I ever put in a vehicle.
Yep.
It was actually a Fosgate Power Punch DVC.
Okay.
I got it off of my buddy. It was like, I want to say 97, 98.
Okay. And just in a prefab box, something you didn't know how to build boxes, you just built a square thing to put it in.
Looking back, I'm sure it was a prefab because I got the box from him too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if I remember right, that speaker went fast too, because if I remember right, it was bridged on an old Fosgate 1100A2.
Okay.
I don't even know what ohm load, because I didn't know any of that back then.
Yeah. Just, hey, it sounds louder when I hook it up this way.
Yeah, you do it this
Yep.
way.
I remember learning that. I used to hook up a realistic 15 that I would take from my car into my bedroom, and
All right.
when I hook it up, I'm like, dude, this is how you wire it because it's way louder that way. I had no idea what ohm load it was. I don't know what ohm load my stereo in my house wanted. I just know it was louder if I hooked it up this way. You know,
Yep. For the first 3 years, the only thing I knew was parallel.
parallel.
Mm,
There you go. Let's
Yep.
drop that ohm load.
yeah, dropping it.
Drop it, drop it. Moses hit me up, and I forgot to hit him up back, but he was asking about he needs to series parallel some subwoofers. So he's got 4 drivers. He wants to turn it into 2 conductors, and he's looking for a half ohm. So I was like, well, you can series parallel it, and I was describing it to him, but I think he needs a drawing because discussing series parallel to somebody that understands it is super easy, but to somebody that's going, a little more difficult.
Well, how many woofers does he have? Like
4 dual
bunch?
voice coils, 1 ohm each, and he's looking for
Yeah.
half ohm. So I was
Ah,
telling
okay,
him,
that'll get me confused still.
no, so you just wire each subwoofer to half ohm, and then you
Series in them.
you series them to half ohm.
Yeah.
Then you parallel them back down to, or no. So you're gonna series them to half ohm, parallel them to 1 ohm, and then that's one set. Then you take the other set and do the same thing, and then so you series goes up, parallel goes down. So you're gonna parallel them at the amp, and there you go, my almighty half ohm.
Series on the sub and parallel up.
Yes. Series
If anybody ever needs a picture, so it helped me out a ton when my cousin got me back into audio. The 12volt.com. You can put in your amount of subwoofers, and it'll tell you wiring options with the end result of the ohm load and diagrams of it too.
Oh, I knew there was a website for it, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. I use the Ultimate Car Audio app.
And
it's worth it. I think it was like, I forgot how much it was, but use the Pro one, and it has all of that information. Some of you guys who know about it know about the Ultimate Car Audio app. That's what I use.
Built my first box ever off of it.
Oh, there you go.
So do you know the person that designed and runs that app?
No.
Nope.
Is it somebody we know, or?
Oh, I don't know. That's why I was kind of hoping it was somebody we know. That'd be a great guest to have on here.
Explicit coding, it says.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can always hit him up.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So anyway, so with the World Finals coming up, are you going to be able to make that, Mr. Lucas?
Yes, I am. I'm all paid up for finals. Haven't been sent the invite, but I'm hoping it's coming.
You're right. The season's still going.
Yeah. So after next week, they'll start sending out invites. So first they're going to look at people that already have them. And, they'll probably start this weekend before the weekend happens and start putting them together, and then they'll start batching them out as it comes. Jose was talking about coming to World Finals too. So it'd be really cool to see Jose show up out there at World Finals. I'm just saying.
Oh, I hope he does, man. I got a lot of respect for him. I know what he has in there, and I don't think I can keep up, but I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, you guys are competitors, but once again, you have a shared desire to be loud and low, and what's going to happen is you guys are going to compete, but at the end of the day, you guys are more than likely just going to swap demos and maybe go out and have a beer together or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. That's how it should be anyways,
Yeah.
I'd be the first guy if he needed somebody to come push on a panel or do something, granted it's Cyclone. I don't know how all that is with that, because typically nobody touches anything, but I'd be the first person to help someone. If they beat me, then they earned it, and not meaning it that way, but they put a lot of hard work in, and they have a great build.
Jose says, World Finals, my boss didn't give me the time off. He owns his own stereo shop. So if the boss don't give him time off, that's his fault. You better yell at your boss, Jose.
Doing it to himself.
That's right. So what got you into the stereos is you said your cousin, right?
Yep, he
Yep.
came
Gotcha.
over with a DC level 312.
All right. Okay. So
Yeah.
then, how did you hear about your first stereo competition? Um, how'd
I
that
should
go?
say he rekindled the flame,
Okay.
and he helped push it. My cousin also. He brought me to my first stereo competition in Indiana. It was held by Frost and Boss Lady J.
Okay.
Frost, Calvin Hawkins. Um, but yeah, like I went there, and everybody there, the crowd in this area is so amazing. I went there not really knowing anything with a box that I built that morning,
Okay.
and went competed. Everybody was helpful. They even took me to the side and they're like, "Hey, try doing this and this." And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was hooked
Did
instantly.
did the meter hurt your feelings?
No, I didn't know any better.
Okay. Well, so just people know, some guys come out to show, oh yeah, I'm all of 150. Dude, I'm gonna kill this. I'm a solid 150. And they get out there and they go, bam, 144. Eh,
um,
just you
I
know.
look back and I'm pleasantly surprised with what it did. Uh,
Okay.
so it was that same car, that little hatchback. I had those same 15s that I got the 60 on with the cracked baskets, all that. DDM5, nowhere near enough voltage. That day I hit a 53.
Oh, that's awesome. On a
Next
DB
day I hit
drag
a
burp.
55. It was a Usaki kick burp.
Okay. So
Yeah,
for DB drag, that would be a freestyle, similar, same setup.
yeah,
Okay. Uh,
yeah. Looking back, I was happy with that. It was I had no idea what I was doing for the most part. So
That's a good starting point, 53s.
Yeah. Not everybody gets there right out. Definitely not off the bat. So that's a
Mhm.
great starting point. And so, was that the Frost Off show that Jeremy Weber used to do?
it was a Team Monster battle zone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the guy hosting it, his nickname was Frost.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, because, up in Wisconsin, they used to do a show called the Frost Off. So, supposedly the first show of the year. So I was just. So he said only 1,000 watts with your 153, huh?
The show after, I went to a show the next day and made some adjustments people talked about,
Uh huh.
and it was 5K clamped out of that DDM5. I hit a 55 in the kick.
Okay. There
Yeah,
you go.
we can't all be you, Sam. With your crazy scores at 1K.
um, so okay, so that was that. Did you go to? Have you been to any World Finals yet at all for any of the car audio stuff?
This will be the first.
This will be the first, huh?
Yeah.
What about the? So since you're going to be at a DB Drag World Finals, so how did you get into DB Drag, or what was your first? What was your introduction to DB Drag?
Introduction was maybe 4 years ago. I was at Soundcheck. Uh, RP was hosting a show, and he said, "Hey, there's we're gonna allow free entries for Cyclone. It's a new
Mm-hmm.
class, really
Mm-hmm.
starting up and getting going." So I went over there, did Cyclone with my flat wall that peaked at 47, and I'm in there blasting 27 hertz for a minute, sub stinking, all
Oh,
that
it's
good stuff.
stanky.
Oh,
But I was hooked, and I watched. I can't remember who the verses was, but they had Brad Beecraft from Team Ain't Loud against somebody else, and these guys were crushing lows. Like they were at about a 58 for the minute at 20 hertz.
Okay.
I was like, that is what I want.
Dang. Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, that's um, for people that haven't seen a cyclone run. To see it is one thing, but to be there and stand right there behind the driver door, and I mean, it just rocks your insides. It tickles your ears. It's way cool when somebody plays 20 hertz, and it's very good as a show promoter. I really focus on the cyclone guys when they're in the lanes because it is interactive with the crowd, and not
mhm.
all of the DB drag competition is interactive with the crowd, but Cyclone 100% is, and that's one of the things I really like about Cyclone. So, um, so that was it. So you got your first show at an RP show.
Yep.
Um, and oh yeah, Jose says, ask Dave Bradshaw. He felt the difference one click away or one click made.
Wow.
So and it
That
does.
voltage jump.
Yes, and it does make a difference when somebody goes a little bit louder. Um, so that was your first show was RPs. Is there a show that's your favorite or any of that stuff?
Slamology, and
Okay.
you were the judge.
Okay.
Oh.
I
You weren't
had
one of the guys that hated me?
no, you were amazing there. I had no idea what I was doing. I had only done that RP show, and we could use whatever music we wanted. And
Mhm.
Slam was a 3X, and we had to
Right.
use the boom check track.
Right.
I didn't have it. There was so much mix up, and you were awesome helping me out in the lanes. And I wound up going to the side, helped me find music. It was just such a good experience. And then when I finally got to go and play, I did my run, and I was like, oh man, he just live streamed it too. So
Uh-huh.
I'm watching that. It was awesome, and then I actually wound up winning
Oh, okay.
Cyclone and Slamology.
Yeah.
Wow.
There
That's
you go.
cool.
So yeah, some people weren't happy that we went through 113 cars that day at
Oh
Slam.
yeah.
So I mean, we had a good system going. People were rolling through. Um, some people think I'm really strict on the rules. Um, I try to be as generous as I possibly can without slowing the show down.
Yes.
Um, uh, but I want everybody to know there isn't a judge out there that I've ever met that's just going to say, well, you can't figure it out, you're screwed, just good luck, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure Jeffrey's the same way. He's going to give you an opportunity to learn what you're doing.
Yeah.
It is more difficult at something like Slamology, Autorama, or one of the bigger 3Xs, Spring Break Nationals, stuff like that. It's a little more difficult to do it, but I try to find ways that I can do it. Like while I'm helping you out, and especially because it's always during qualifying, we do Cyclone. So I'll run a car because it's just qualifying on the other side, and I'll step over and I'm like, hey, look, we need to do this, you need to do this, and really try and get you tuned in so you understand what you're gonna do. And then like another thing that I do slightly different is I really feel that DB drag, car audio in general. I'm DB drag centric, but car audio in general is people realistically are look at me, look what I did. And it's them showing their passion, their love for something they created. That's like a great carpenter that builds a phenomenal house.
Yeah.
Same type of thing. You guys spend your love, your sweat, your tears, your blood into building these cars to share with other people is the best way I can say it. And so when there's a cyclone run in the lane, that's why I live stream it. That's why I really try to focus. I want the crowd to gather around, and I think that's important to everybody involved, not just the competitor, but the show as a whole. Get the spectators involved, get them to come by and hang out and ask you questions about your build. That's important because once again, there's so much involved in how you got to where you are, but they would never know if they didn't ask. They're just, oh, that guy has a really loud thing. He must be sponsored, or he must be,
Yeah.
he must be this wizard at building, and he never had to really learn this stuff, or that kind of thing. When they don't understand is, some guys built. I had one guy that started out, and he was competing. He was stacking prefab boxes in a van.
Nice.
Right? And that was his start. That was Old Man Mike, right? So Old Man Mike's start was stacking prefab boxes in a car. Then he hooked up with people, and they helped him design the box, and then he spent his time and built the box, and so people would never know that if we don't give them a personal experience with the guy who built it. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. That's definitely my view when I'm running a show, or I'm doing any kind of event, or somebody's competing. I really want to showcase the people that are in the lanes because of their passion and their want to share it with everybody. So So yeah, you did. What was your score at Slam?
Slam, I believe it was a 55.7 at 27 hertz.
That's that's a very respectable score.
It was uh it was three 15-inch level sixes in a six order on two Pitbull 20Ks wired up. I was clamping on a burp. I only clamped 10,000 watts.
Okay. So they were wired fairly high, or you had extreme
Mhm.
box rise, huh?
Yeah.
Both.
A little bit,
Oh, dang.
a little bit of both, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a learning experience with that car. Everything that could go wrong did.
All right. So you're part of Team DC.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can't thank Rusty enough. Rusty and Justin have given me so much advice and help, and I don't even know what to say. Yeah, they're amazing. I definitely probably would have given up on a few things without
Sam Dunn says I'm his good luck charm in the lanes.
them.
Well, you only get to see me once a year, since Slamology's kind of backed out of the deal. Um, but so World Finals. Are you looking forward to this World Finals?
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, the hotel, I seen the link and that you posted, and I instantly or maybe it was Wayne. Sorry, I can't remember. But yeah, I instantly got a hotel. I'm like, I gotta have one right next to it. Yeah. Before the invite went out, I'm like, I'm gonna buy this just in case. I see I got points.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pay for my registration right away.
Mhm.
Awesome. Any particular thing you're looking forward to, or person, or any of that stuff for World Finals?
So being a little bit of a newbie, I
Mhm.
really don't know a lot of the names. I mean, one person I was really hoping would go would be Bobby Mansfield. I don't know if
Okay.
he's gonna
I'm not
make it out
familiar
there.
with who that is. So
He's one of my inspirations.
okay.
He's got the Usaki belts, Mr. 20 Hertz, and all that stuff. And I just, when I was getting into this, I always saw his videos and just the wind killing everything, and it's like, all right,
Didn't we have Mr.
that's
20 Hertz on here?
So, yeah.
Yeah, we did. We did have him on one of the shows. Oh, that's the other thing is Lucas. He's an active contributor. He watches the show often. I mean, I see him posting in the chat and whatnot. I mean, him and Sam Dunn are all over it. So yeah, I see you guys in there often. So what are your thoughts on this old school meetup?
I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, I'm not super familiar with other things, but to get to meet people who helped lay the groundwork and help
Mhm.
progress everything, like that'd be amazing.
Okay. So how are we doing, Jeffrey and myself, at introducing some of these people that are going to be at that old school meetup? I mean, do you feel like you've kind of learned a little bit about who they are and
Yeah, definitely. I mean, without this show, I wouldn't be hyped for it at all because
uh,
I'd have no idea who they were. I'd be like, oh, okay, great. There's some people at a meetup.
right?
Yeah, we need to
Yeah,
get him to
so
write a testimonial.
No,
But
that
that's
is
kind of why we do it. We introduce these people that are going to be at the event, and maybe it's just like a person such as yourself who don't know really so much as the big names, and you're like, hey, I have a lot in common with this guy right here. Hey, it'd be
mhm.
kind of cool to meet him. Hey, I'm definitely going to go and tell him what's up. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
I think we did that to Peepo last week.
Did we?
Yeah.
It opened up a wide audience of people
Well,
now that's
well,
relate to people.
I don't think Peepo was even going to come, and
Oh, right.
I think we've inspired him to come, which is awesome. I mean,
Mhm.
there's a few different moments he said, oh, well, now I feel like I have to.
yeah. No, he texted us when it was over, and it was like, hey, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed being on the
Mhm.
show, and I may be at the World Finals. Look into this. So, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Sam Dunn asked, "Do these 25th anniversary shirts come with the registration for finals?" I don't know that directly. Jeffrey, do you know?
So they get a goodie bag, right? It's a
Right.
duffel bag, and the shirt comes in the duffel bag, and the duffel bag is for the people that registered for finals, and they could actually buy extras. So you don't necessarily have to be a competitor at finals. You could just buy the duffel bag, come with all the cool goodies, including the shirt.
Is that the
Nice.
VIP thing
Yeah.
that Celise was talking about?
Yeah, you also get to be in the hospitality suite, VIP status. So, what more can you want?
Yeah. And just for those people that didn't know, we are planning to have Celise on sometime before World Finals. My guess is probably 2 weeks. Let's see. You guys are making me want to go to the old school meetup, is what Stussy Cole says. So I hope we're making you want to go to the old school meetup. These are friends of Jeffrey's and mine because we've been doing it so long. We're old folk. um, yeah. You know, Jose said he had to get back to work, but he keeps chiming in on the chat there.
It's gonna get in trouble with the boss.
I know. But no, Jose's been on the show a couple of times. He's definitely, he's. I'm not saying he's new, but he's new on the scene. And he's doing some really cool stuff. You know, he's got his little CNC machine that he really spends some time with. He's been doing some really cool builds. And then obviously the Black Widow, right, which is what you're going against as far as World Finals goes. And it'd be awesome. I will tell you, the way qualifying works at World Finals, since this will be your first World Finals, if Jose were to show up there, because my guess is you would have more points than Jose because he's only attended so many shows. But whoever has the most points qualifies last. So he would have to show you his number before you even went up there.
Oh, so he has more points than I do.
Oh,
so
does
I'd have
he?
To go before him. Huh?
So if you have less points than Jose, then you would have to show your number before he got up there.
Oh.
And you can't sandbag in a cyclone. You got to
It's
let
a
it
one and
rip
done.
because
Oh,
it's a one and
going
done.
full
So
send.
yeah, oh yeah, you got to send it for sure.
Justin,
I
if you're watching this, Justin, bring recones.
I
Yeah.
have 8 going with me.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah.
So what if they tie? Do they get to go again, or well, obviously they got to have a winner, right?
Yeah, so we did have a tie didn't we have that one at the West Coast finals? I did
Can't
have a
recall,
tie
I
at one of
think.
my
Yeah.
events, and we did a rerun of the whole run.
Oh, rerun.
So
Okay.
you just rerun the whole 1 minute, and actually I can't remember who it was with, but we ended up having a winner by 1/10 of a point.
Wow.
Oh,
So
wow.
they both played 20 hertz both times, and one guy got an extra 10th out of it. And so, yeah, so we did have a tie. I don't remember what show it was, but I did have a tie in Cyclone, and we had to rerun the event or rerun those two gentlemen.
So if we had like a tie with two competitors, do you think we could just do like a head to head?
No, because you remember how the Term Lab works. Only one sensor is active for Cyclone.
I thought Wayne said he was going to try to fix that, and we were talking about let's get all 4 lanes going
Well,
at the same time.
the opportunities there in deathmatch,
Right.
So we can set up a deathmatch run
Yeah.
and do it like that. Speaking of deathmatch, 10 minutes at my last show.
Ooh, that's sick. I seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so sorry for the people that were trying to watch it live. The people were tripping over my cords and unplugging my camera. They were unplugging my TV screen. Oh, dude, it was all not good.
Mhm.
So, but Ray Maestas ended up winning it with 149.8, getting the $1,000. So
Nice.
congratulations to Ray Maestas for getting that.
Oh, yeah.
And then like I said, this weekend I've already got $1,135 towards the West Coast finale. So somebody that's already qualified for that, you had to have at least 4 Sonic FX shows since the Autorama event. And if you are qualified for that, my guess is we're going to give out between $2,500 and $3,000 on Sunday. So that's a good thing.
Thomas Van is in the chat, and Steve Emlobello said that he created the car audio.
Yeah, yeah, I saw it. So okay, we need to get that guy on the show.
He created what?
Ultimate
The
car
app.
audio app. Yeah.
Oh, so Thomas Van's the guy. All right, cool. Thomas, hit us up in the private messenger or whatever, and we would love to talk to you about your app. I've never even heard of it. Jeffrey said he uses it. So, and Lucas, right? You're familiar with it?
Yes, I am.
He says that yes, he's the guy.
He's the guy.
No, that'd be
Hey,
cool.
updates for iPhone, please.
Oh, there you go.
Oh man, iPhone updates are so hard to keep up with. Oh good lord. Yeah, I have a program I use for running bowling tournaments, and since the new 15.8 or whatever, the emergency iPhone update that you had to do, and they like the next day, yeah, it really messed up that app bad. So, yeah, updates for the iPhones, please. So World Finals, you got the old school meetup. Jose Ramos, definitely awesome guy. Would be great to meet, and I'm sure he'd love to meet you too. Just because you guys have a shared passion in what you do, and
Oh yeah.
and like I said, I honestly I have not seen your vehicle in person. I do know Jose Ramos's vehicle. He does. There's times where he spends a lot of time making it look really nice, and then other times when he just throws it together for a show. So,
I go through a bit of that myself. I'm not going to do all of my finishing work. I finished one door. I did a ton of wood grain and staining and all of that all throughout my wall. But
okay.
I'm ripping it all out.
Oh,
rebuilding.
Really?
Yeah, not till after finals.
After finals. Okay.
I'm fairly new with some of this, and this was my first really big build. I thought I could get away with just some kind of fake birch, like the Home Depot, Menards stuff, all of that. So it's a bunch of layers of that, about 18 braces, and about 70 2x.
Okay.
And I'm flexing everywhere.
So you didn't go with steel.
I did not, and I will be.
There you go. You live and you learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Jeffrey was competing, what we would do is we would take multiple layers of MDF, some 2x4s, and then concrete, then more MDF. And there wasn't a lot of people using steel. We had that guy in Hanford, I believe, that had the plexiglass loading wall, right?
I know Owens did the loading wall.
Yeah. What was his
Scott Owens.
name? The guy out of Hanford, the one that did 171 or
Azevedo?
something. Azevedo, yeah. So Azevedo did the plexiglass loading wall for a little while. Another guy did a steel loading wall, right? So there's just evolutions in the car audio market,
Yeah.
I did build my 56 Pontiac that I did build. I used angle brace around the outside of the box. Anytime I had a panel bigger than 12 inches, I put angle brace around it. But that was back in like 2003, 2004. So that was a long time ago.
Kind of makes you think like, what's next? So they're using, steel. What are they going to do next? Titanium?
Titanium
Holy
I-beams.
crap.
You could wind up with steel and concrete and wind up with a 27,000-pound van, huh? RP if he's in here.
How much did your rabbit weigh, Jeff?
I never weighed it.
Oh, you
I
didn't?
don't know.
So I built a CRX for Extreme. It was an Extreme 1 CRX back when we created the Extreme 1 class. And I believe our CRX came in at like just under 6,000 pounds.
That's really heavy for a CRX.
I know we put like little 4-inch or 5-inch I-beams from the axle to the body of the vehicle, and we bent the axle.
Oh
So,
wow.
so it didn't move very well on its own because DV drag rules say it has to be able to move on its own. It doesn't say how far. I bet you that car wouldn't go further than
Wow.
maybe 10, 15 feet before the axles would start doing the walking out. So, yeah, as far as the evolution goes, I don't even. I mean, I'm sure somebody's going to come up with something that's going to be
Yeah.
a game changer. Like Brobox there. I see
He
Brobox right
does.
there. Yeah, Brobox might come up with
Yep.
something.
Yeah, you never
RP's trying
know.
to, right? RP's trying to develop something new. You never know. I mean, the who had the black Volvo? Was that the Finland?
Was that Hal or no? Or was it Ellen Dante or no?
No. It was out of
No,
Finland or Norway or something or Denmark. It might have been Hal.
might have
Um,
been Hal.
they were one of the first guys to modify the humidity inside the vehicle to improve their
Jeez.
SPL score.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember judging their car at World Finals, and they hit their number, and we had to do our inspection. And for our inspection, you have to check for the subwoofer. At that time, you were only allowed dual voice coils. Quads were not allowed in this class.
Right.
So we pulled off the inspection panel so you can see inside the box, and all of the motors on every one of his subwoofers were sheared off and laying in the bottom of his box.
What?
So that's how much force he was creating inside that box.
Wow.
So I mean that was freaking awesome. Tom, you can either message Jeffrey or myself. It doesn't matter. Just message one of us, and we will get back with you. Colin Hartwick is watching. Melissa Hall. Oh, there she is. She says thank you for the app. Yeah, we'll definitely get him on there. Elijah Felatui. I've destroyed that name. Steve Labello. We're asking who owned and created the Ultimate Car Audio. Oh, he's the one who must have tagged Thomas on that thing. So,
Right.
thank you, sir. Who was that again? That was no Steve. Steve, thank you very much. We appreciate that. We're always looking for great and interesting content for World Finals, or for This Week in Car Audio.
Podcasts.
Yeah, the podcast.
Gotta say too, Steve has been a huge part of me actually growing in this also. He's put up with a lot of dumb questions.
Okay.
He's helped me with a lot of stuff. Great guy, he introduced me to the Team Flopbox guys. No longer with him. Just we live too far apart,
Okay.
5-6 hours. But yeah, Steve, tremendous help, and shameless plug here, S&A Auto Security in River Grove. Best alarms you're gonna get. I won't
In
put
Chicago
anything else on.
or in
Yep.
Illinois?
In Chicago.
Oh, okay, in Chicago.
Yep.
All right. So with that being said, what were some of your dumb questions? I mean, because you realize they're dumb, but people may be watching this and aren't as versed as you. So share with us some of your dumb questions.
All right. Well, maybe they're not all dumb questions, but see, little things happen all the time. Even just this past week. So
Okay.
I lost all power to my passenger door, and he said, "Hey, stop by the shop whenever you want." And I swear I went in and checked all the fuses.
Mhm.
I show up there, so he trusts me on that first mistake, and he's got a scanner and he's reading to make sure everything's communicating because it's a 2012 Escalade.
Okay.
So he's running through, making sure it's all communicating, all of that. Spends a bunch of time, we both do, with that, and then pops open the fuse panel, and it's the very first fuse that I thought I checked. But yeah, it's just been a lot of small stuff. When diodes were really coming into play with alternators, you have no idea how many times I contacted him to say, "Hey, which diode was it again?" Or which way does the line go?
Right. But that's so you met him through the car audio, right, at a show or something like that, and that's where it all started, right?
Yep.
And,
Yeah, that very first show.
Yeah, and that's what some of these people that haven't been to a show or haven't even reached out to talk to somebody at a show, more than most of these people would love to talk to you. This is their passion, and they want to help. I mean, have you found that to be typical in your area too?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your base shook the alarm brain and locks stopped working.
Oh
We
no.
fixed that
Oh
at
yeah.
a show.
Yep. Yeah, he's awesome. Nothing worked with my alarm, and yeah, we're at a show, and he's like, let me take a look at it real quick. I'm like, dude, we're at a show. He's like, don't worry about it.
I got
Jumped
this.
in there,
Nice.
reset everything, fixed it, good to go.
Yeah, for us out here in California, Jay's Alarms. I mean, that guy's 31 years doing it. Phenomenal guy. Same as you. Like, I'll call Jay. Jay, dude, it won't turn on. He goes, did you push this and this? Yes. Okay, hold these two buttons and stand on your left foot. It worked. I mean, that's the kind of, like I said, and I would never know Jay if I wasn't part of this car audio world. So
Yeah.
I'm sure Jeffrey has his people. So did you know Roger outside of car audio before, Jeffrey?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, I
And then
mean-
what's funny was he used to be a funeral director. So it's not like I would have seen him on the street or something like that, or I might have, but you know.
But I mean, look, and now Jeffrey works with him. He's a good friend of Jeffrey's for many years. He
Yeah.
was part of Team XSSPL, built many cars with him. Because XSSPL, they were one of those teams that they would build cars together. So,
I like that.
yeah. And,
Yeah.
and but you guys were in a pretty small geographic area too, right, Jeff?
Pretty much like Southern California area. Yeah.
Yeah. So was Jacob Fincher on your team?
Yeah.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
He was on the team.
Okay. And yeah, because Jacob's not a builder by any means. And then you had Chad, and
Yeah.
and that's the other thing too is when you get minds like Chad's and Chad Geary and Roger
Mhm.
Bridges together,
Yeah.
man, it's just amazing what comes out of their heads as far
Oh,
as
yeah.
development and seeing how to make your car louder. And
Yeah, Chad's still doing it. He's in the game. He's probably built a big percentage of the guys' vehicles down there in SoCal. So I actually just talked to Chad today, actually.
yeah, he's a little on the shy side, so he's not interested in coming on the program.
No,
But no, Chad's and Chad's a smart dude. He actually 1 year, I can't remember who it was. Somebody did something about no wall, and they're like, "Yeah, truck's gonna win no wall. It's gonna be a van or a truck." And he goes, "All right." And so he built himself a four-door
Yeah.
Toyota or something like that, or a Corolla. Is that a Corolla?
a little Honda,
Yeah.
a Civic,
Build him a little Honda Civic and go and whoop some ass.
just to show them.
Yeah, just to be, this. Yeah, you say this is all that can happen. Let me show you, son. So, what are your plans in the future, Mr. Lucas? What do you got looking forward to here?
Rip this out and do a nice cage and really just try to get everything I can out of this build.
Mhm.
Other than that, I've tried working with some people to possibly sponsor some shows.
Okay.
I just want to go and I want to see shows everywhere. Like I wanted to be out by you guys this year. I want to see all the different builds. Try to soak in as much as I can.
Okay. You're always welcome to come out. I would suggest the Autorama show. We get
All right.
huge response. We get people coming from all over the place to come to Autorama. That's going to be the last weekend of May, I believe, is when we have it scheduled for. With that being said, it'll be a 5X weekend, so it'll help you with your points. Or so like Lucas Paddle, I think, would fly out and just take pictures at the show every year for a long time. So Ray used to come down and judge it with me every once in a while. Jeffrey's been there, helped me judge it before. He's been there and competed.
Competed, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's been on all aspects of that Autorama. The Autorama is actually a really cool show too because they have like Chip Foose there, or Graveyard Cars, or somebody. Roger Barris was there one time, or whatever his name. It's just Barris, the guy who made the Batman car. He was there. And like I said, if you bring your vehicle, it exposes so many people because we're right at the entrance, and 30,000 people are going to walk by your car in a weekend. I mean,
Nice.
that's phenomenal. You don't get that very often, right?
No, definitely not. It sounds like regardless if I can or can't bring the vehicle,
Yeah.
I should stop out there.
Yes, and as far as demos go, dude, it's a nonstop demo.
Yeah, I won't lie. That's some of the toughest thing is this year with this build, I get stuck in fun mode and I just want a demo.
Mhm.
I've missed out on so many demos, and I absolutely love. I will take a demo from anybody.
Okay.
I love getting demos. I want to experience as many people's builds as possible.
And it doesn't have to be a wall of 1818s or anything like that.
No,
I mean, 212s in your trunk. If you're willing to give a demo, guys like Lucas, hey, and you're proud of your build, and that's what you did, they're there to encourage that. And
oh yeah,
hey, because he was there at one point, obviously, right?
Yeah.
yep,
So
yeah, a few years ago.
but like I tell everybody, very, very, very few, especially on the West Coast. I don't do much on the East Coast, so I don't really know. But on the West Coast, if you walk up to somebody's car and ask them for a demo, at worst they're gonna tell you, "Hey, let me do my qualifying run, and then I'll give you a demo," because they're
Yep.
saving battery for a cyclone run or something like that. But if you ask them, almost always they are going to give you demos, and I'm sure that's the same with you out there in Texas, right, Jeff?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean, as long as you're good about it, you're just not rushing them to, hey, give me this demo now, or you're just being cool. Hey, when you get a chance, can I jump in for a demo? Hey, that's cool. A lot that can go a long way. Not just with demos. If you have a question about, hey, how are you so much louder than me?
Yep.
Just the way you come at different people. Hey, they'll be more than willing to share the knowledge, from my experience, anyways.
Justin Stolman, the sponsor of the podcast here, jumps in. He's got the 99.9 dB class. He said, "I got that on lockdown." That's great. Do you have a show coming up this weekend, Lucas? I mean, it's the final week for points, and
I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it out there or not. I got to see how the work week goes. But I was gonna try to make it to the Michigan State Finals.
oh, cool. And is that a Wyatt event again?
No, I don't know who's judging over there. It's a 2X.
Okay.
They're multi-org. Not sure who's judging. I didn't see the name on the Facebook post.
Okay. Are you going to attend any other World Finals? Just DB Drag or DB Drag USAC? Which ones?
Just DB Drag.
Just DB Drag.
Were you planning to do any other formats like a base race or top dog or?
I did
DB
plan
Drag?
on it, but with the new build and complications, I'm not the most knowledgeable person. I had a lot of help trying to, diagnose things. I tried over 20 different port combinations and had to rip everything apart and rebuild every time for the most part. So it took me away from a lot of other shows.
Okay. So you don't have the points for Top Dog or Cyclone at World, or Top Dog or Base Race at World Finals, right?
No, not yet, not at all.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Death match. Are we gonna do a death
I'll
match?
do death
Do you know?
match.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be good. Like it'd be just like Cyclone demo.
I guarantee there will be a death match.
Yeah.
That
Man.
is one of Wayne's favorite things. And for anybody that's watching or listening and they're interested in deathmatch, the minute you show up to the show, find Wayne and tell him, because we have to limit it to so many people. So
Yeah.
if
All right.
you're into it and interested in deathmatch, find Wayne and let him know right away that you're interested in deathmatch.
I think the guy who won the East Coast was like an alternate, right?
He was.
Yeah, he was an alternate. So, they had the guys that they wanted, and then they're like, okay, if these people don't make it, we'll go with this alternate group. And the guy who ended up winning it was an alternate. So, hey, you never know.
Yeah. So that's cool. And I'm kind of curious to see how many of the old school rides show up. We may have an old school death match,
What?
which would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
It would be. I don't know what Wayne plans to do. Also, with some of the old things we used to do, is we would have a one death match for each category. So we would have a stock, we'd have a super street, and we'd have an extreme death match. So we would have 3 death matches at the event at World Finals. So that's some of the stuff we have done in the past, and which my guess is Wayne may be bringing some of that back for World Finals. I'm totally jazzed for World Finals. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to be home all of October. I'm gonna feel like Jeffrey, all jet lifestyle.
No way.
I got to go to
Texas, right? You're coming to Texas.
Yeah, I got to go to World Finals, Kentucky. Then the following week, I got to be in Vegas for the week. And then the following week after that is my daughter's wedding. And then the following week after that, I got to go somewhere up north for another bowling tournament. So, I'm not going to be home. I'm going to be home like 12 days of the entire month of October.
Sounds like a fun month, though.
Oh, it does. All I hear are dollar signs. Either going out or coming in.
Yeah.
My daughter getting married, I'm sure is not cheap for me.
Yeah.
I'd imagine not.
And I'm not going to ask my wife how much she's spending either. So
that's better off that way. Yeah, congratulations to her.
It is. So so we'll be out there in Dallas. I might have to stop by and see Jeffrey during that time. I don't know if he's around.
Sure. That'd be cool.
Maybe introduce Jeffrey to my pro bowling buddies. Alan Riley. I'm going to definitely go see Alan Riley because we're supposed to go see possibly some of the Hall of Fame guys out there that live in that area. Hey.
Take some video.
I might have to lace them up and see what it looks like. You know what I mean? Against some of the top guys of the world. So no, that's cool. Other than that, like I said, that's a super busy month. I'm looking forward to it. I know Jeffrey's got 2 shows coming up this weekend, right, Jeff? Well, Boom Audio does, right?
Right. Just the one. Well, yeah, it might be. I think Andy's got one over there too. So
I thought I saw one in SoCal this weekend.
Oh, there. I think that's another org.
Is it another organization? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I happen to catch something. I don't go on Facebook very much. Usually just on Mondays to sort all this stuff out for the show. Might pop in every once in a while to check on my bowling stuff, but I'd rather be fishing than Facebooking. So.
But so you're going to finals, right, Lucas? I think the first couple finals, or maybe that I've gone to. So there's this competitor party, right? And then I used to think, hey, I'm too cool to do the competitor party, but you're going to this finals. Yeah, you got to be there for sure. So yeah, don't think that you're going to be that you're going to pass on this year's competitor party. I want you to go and experience it since it's your first time, and hopefully you'll have a bunch of memories like we do. So.
Yeah, I definitely plan on doing that. My whole goal is to not drink too much, though, because I really don't drink much. So I really don't want to face all of Sunday really hungover.
So I will tell you, if you forget what happens at the party, nobody else ever will. And they will remind you of it the following day.
And the rest of my life.
That's right. So I promise you, if you don't remember it, someone will. Just keep that in mind. And there will be videos and pictures of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So just keep that in mind. the competitor party, another thing I'm really looking forward to. It's a great opportunity to sit down and actually meet the people that you're competing against.
Yeah.
And I mean, Moses will tell you he sat down with Dan Horner, and they got a connection. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop Tart. Pop Tart connected with all kinds of people when he was out here. It's really cool, and like I said, some of my favorite people, the twins from Canada, awesome. Don Hebig, me and him talk on the phone, whatever. He's, dude, he's a smart guy. If you guys haven't seen the podcast we did with Don Hebig, DB Don, go back and watch that. Only thing is, let me warn you ahead of time. It is a little on the technical side. I was trying to dumb it down to like normal people talk, but I know I didn't do a great job of it. But it definitely go listen to what Don has to say. He's a really smart dude. Same with Nathan Munson. I mean, dude, if you get an opportunity, Nathan Munson, awesome. What's his Apex Audio or
Audio Apex? Yeah.
Audio Apex and Cab.
What?
So
Yep. I've
that's
seen
his,
him around plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely, like I said, and if you guys just want to meet these people and aren't a competitor, fly on out to Louisville or Owensboro
Owensboro.
and come and check this place out. I mean, it's we're trying to do something special here. I really believe that. I'm sure Jeffrey does too. And like I said, looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting up with some old friends and making new ones. 100%.
Well, you definitely are doing something great because everybody I've talked to, I was going to go last year without a vehicle.
Uh-huh.
Everybody I've talked to, they said, no matter if you have a vehicle going or not, you definitely need to go.
Absolutely. And like I said, I hope this podcast helps people see and understand and maybe even meet some of the people that are going to be there, like yourself and Moses and Peepo and Noras and all the other guys, you know. Shaker, really cool dude. You'll never regret meeting that guy. And some of these guys are like, man, I don't know if I want to go. The Riley brothers, man, they are a hoot. I'm just saying. I'm sure if you saw the podcast, the hoot thing, you see a lot of people say, oh, yeah, I can't wait to see the Riley brothers again. And that seems to be a common sentiment. All right, so what do you got going on? Fly out, my Cali people, says Rosa. They're driving out there. Like I said, the Cali guys are so good at base race, top dog, and cyclone. Would love to see them show up and do the best they can. Anyway, so maybe a show next weekend for you, and then just a calm period right before World Finals, right, sir?
I have a lot of other work I want to do.
Okay.
And, on the cabin of my vehicle.
All right. Just so everybody knows, I got a flight from SFO out to Kentucky for $288 round trip.
Nice.
So the round trip is not super expensive. That was on Breeze Airlines. I never heard of them. My wife says we probably shouldn't fly that, but $288 round trip. It's going to cost me more to park at SFO than that.
Yeah.
So they're like $48 a day for parking.
Oh,
so
wow.
welcome to the Bay Area.
But yeah, flights are pretty cheap right now. Yeah, go if you guys are wanting to fly out there, check it out and see. I think it's like a lot of the like Frontier and Spirit. Yep. I mean, they're a lot of the least expensive airlines. I got to fly Frontier about a week ago for my first time, and it wasn't that bad at all.
No,
and the tickets were inexpensive, so
yeah. So
it's worth it. It's worth it. Just check it out.
Yep. So Jeffrey, want to hit him with our final question for him, sir?
Yes. Team DC Lucas, what is your definition of a basehead?
Anybody with a passion for it. I mean, it's hard to really label anything on it because I've seen everybody from having a 12-inch subwoofer with a completely blown out surround on it, just tape holding it together, that they're sitting there waiting to pick the right song so they could start their drive, or pausing a song to pull up on people, to people with outrageous builds of 1515s. It's just about passion.
Passion.
Definitely. Obviously, you have that passion. Love to see that. And always remember, um, enthusiasm's contagious. I don't care what you do. If you love jet skiing, your enthusiasm for jet skiing is contagious. Same with car audio. Share it with somebody. You're going to find that they appreciate your feelings and thoughts on the car audio. And I'm sure Jeffrey can attest too. I have never had somebody come to a car audio event. Doesn't matter, USAC, DB Drag, IASCA, whatever. They have never come to an event and left it going, well, that's exactly what I thought it was. It was. They always go, wow, that was kind of cool. I didn't even realize that kind of world was out there. So, but anyway, like I said, that's really cool. Please invite somebody to a show. Jeffrey, what do you got coming up? Let's talk about you real quick.
This Saturday, this weekend is the last chance for points for DB Drag Finals. So we're throwing a triple point event Saturday, September 10th. Crossfire Car Audio, 4 p.m. start time. Sponsored by Brobox. Just gonna have another fun one.
Sweet. That's going to be your last chance in that area for
Yes.
points for World Finals, or to try and win the points championship. Right?
Yeah. Some of the competitors. Well, actually, I just talked to one today, Julius Mac Johnson III. He's really gunning for the points championship in Cyclone. So I know he's up there. I think Moses was kind of creeping on him for a little bit. So he was a little worried, but we were doing the math, and it seems like I think Julius might be a lock for Cyclone points leader.
All right. That's cool. And for me, this weekend, as we do every single year, at the end of the final day of points, we have our 3X. We're bringing back paying out the competitors. So we collected $5 from every first entry at every show I did this year again, and now we're going to give it back. So that equaled $1,135. So I got that, and then there'll be a $70 entry fee for those that have qualified. If you haven't got the 4 Sonic FX shows, the entry fee is only $35. But if you did qualify, of that $70, $35, it doesn't matter if it's your first, second, third entry, they're all $70. But $35 of that $70 goes into the prize fund and adds to it. And like I said, I expect to see between $2,500 and $3,000 for that prize fund that we're going to give back to people at the end of the show. If somebody's in your class and they didn't qualify for the money and they beat you, that place just gets eliminated when we hand out the money. So if you get second to somebody that beat you but they didn't qualify for the money, you get first place money. So
seems fair.
Yeah, it's to pay back the people that have helped out with the show. Also, there is another show down in Fresno that's about 3.5 hours south of where we're at. And that is going to be on the same day. That is a benefit, Help Our Heroes. If you guys are going to compete in the DB Drag up north, it'd be awesome if you guys sent something back down there to Ray Aragon, Ray Pimley, and Chemo are doing a multi-org event down in Fresno. But if you guys want to support the cause that they have, and I'm not sure, I know it's called Help Our Heroes, so I'm not sure what it supports, but I do know it's a benefit for service of some kind. And if you guys want to support them, get a hold of Ray or Chemo, and they'll help you get in touch with whoever we have to get that. And if you aren't going to be able to make it to Sacramento, make it down to Fresno. If you're coming up from Bakersfield, Sacramento's a little too far away, hey, stop, come from Fresno and go and get points and compete there in Fresno. That's going to be at Ray Aragon's shop It should be really cool. Like I said, we're going to make a push after World Finals for the Autorama for the West Coast. That's going to be our next big push for shows other than our Toys for Tots. Oh, this weekend in Sacramento, we're going to be back at Brian Nyman's shop. So it's going to be a Sunday morning, 9:30 start, so we can get so we're trying to limit the heat. It was 117 out here in Sacramento today.
Wow.
But just so you know, on Sunday, the high heat for the day is only going to be 90. So that's 27 degrees lower.
Only.
Well, it's 27 degrees lower than the day.
How's the humidity on it?
Actually, our humidity is only like 38% or something. So it's not. We're
Must
not
be
real
nice.
humid out here. But the heat, good Lord.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can make it to Nyman's shop, you know Nyman's is open, and we encourage people to come by, hang out, demo, all that stuff. We don't have any problems with anybody. And if you can't, go help support the IASCA and USAC event out at Ray's shop in Fresno. And like I said, if you guys still want to support their show, but you're coming to DB Drag, shoot Ray Aragon, Ray Pimley, or Chemo message and let them know, and they'll help you figure out how to support them. If you guys want to support us, remember to support the people that support you or support the stuff you like down below us. We got Stolman Transport LLC, lots of Watts lifestyle apparel. So Justin's in the comment section right there. So talk to Justin, message him, whatever you got to do. But please, like I said, if you get an opportunity or you guys want to support, you can either hit us up and give us a tip right above Jeffrey and myself. You also in the description of the podcast. Then, or you can sponsor the sponsors who support, or you can help by purchasing from the sponsors who support the show. Once again, that's good for us this week. I'm not sure who we're going to have next week, if it's going to be Celise or someone else. That's going to be at the old school meetup, but we'll get that figured out shortly. And we will see you guys next week, same time, different day, same time. We'll be back to Mondays at 5:30 p.m. California time, the only time that does matter. And we will be back with another guest. And once again, we want to thank Team DC Lucas for popping in. Jeffrey, thank you for your time, sir. And we are out of here.